Hello, hello, and welcome to my Lunch and Learn, where each and every week we explore topics to help you elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life. And today we're talking about something really present in the world, in the marketplace. And it's about how you can survive the chaos in your life, avoid burnout, and stay balanced. So, if you've ever felt like you've had a lot on your plate, maybe you're only one to-do list or one to-do item away from things just totally crumbling and falling apart. Maybe you just don't have any breathing room. Today is for you because in life, the pressure will build and you will get maxed out regardless of where you're at. And I guarantee you, you can gain control. You can regain control before burnout hits with a few simple strategies and steps. So let's get the balance on. But before we do that, tell me where you're coming in from. If you're tuning in by replay, type in replay in the chat. And if it's your first time here, type in first time in the chat because we appreciate you. I thank you for being here. And I want to make sure that my team and I can welcome you. Now, some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Larisa McCook. I'm Canada's leading abundance mentor, and we work with professional women that have beautiful lives and are interested in personal growth and development. They want even more out of life. So we help them bridge the gap between dreaming and doing so they can have a life and business that they want and truly love. Now, today's topic, surviving the chaos and avoiding the burnout, this is something I was thinking about over the past couple of days, especially this morning. So we in our company, we have some periods of very full and very busy periods, and then we have some slower and more down periods. So our typical schedule and our typical rhythm is about 2 to 3 weeks on and 2 to 3 weeks off. And so it gives us the flexibility, the breathing room, and it also gives us that ability to feel alive. Now, due to our upcoming schedule, we are stepping into a 5-week period that is very full. And today happens to be the third day of the first week in this period. And I was sitting here after having many events happening this week. We had a live presentation, a live talk that happened yesterday, in fact. And I was realizing, I'm like, I did not have time to unpack properly. I didn't have time to regroup. I had to leave the house this morning. And there was just so much extra put on my plate that I had to deal with. I've learned over the years how to navigate and how to manage these things, but it really gave me a reminder because I had to step back and think, I'm like, okay, I can either survive and just barely get by, or I can take the time to put a few things in place and start to thrive before it gets carried away and before I get to the point of burnout. Now, when you look at the definition of chaos, chaos is like complete disorder and confusion. It's a lack of organization or order. And when there is order in your mind, there is order in your life. When there is order in your life, there can be order in your mind, in your business, in your family, in all aspects. But when there is too much disorder or chaos and things over here, there's a lot of messes and a lot of things going on, and your behavior can start getting really unpredictable and even seem like it's random because you have so much sensitivity to small things and you don't know what to do. You don't know where to respond. And you're just, it's almost like being a crab in a bucket where you're just trying to claw your way out. Now, burnout, on the other hand, is this feeling of being empty and mentally exhausted. You're devoid of motivation and pretty much beyond caring. It's when you've stretched yourself and overstretched yourself and overstretched yourself over and over again. Stress can be a really beautiful thing for highly successful people because when you have that pressure, when you have that need to jump, to move, to have a deadline, to take action, it can make you feel alive. But when you're in decision fatigue and you're making these decisions over and over, when you're in activity fatigue, you're just doing, you don't have time to regroup. And the fact is, if you look at the human cycle, as a human, you need to be awake and alert, and you need to sleep. Every day you need to be awake and alert, and you need to sleep. And when you're sleeping, your brain, it cleanses itself. It starts to flush. It starts to to reorganize and process the events of the day. But when you're in a state of burnout, you don't have that ability. And so it's natural to have feelings of energy depletion, exhaustion, or even mental distance from your job, your family, or others around you. Perhaps even negativism, like being really negative or cynical in your life. Now, the term burnout was first coined in 1974 by psychologist Herbert Freudenberger. I hope I said that correctly. And he used it to describe this physical, emotional exhaustion that he observed in healthcare workers and volunteers who were just emotionally drained and overwhelmed by their work. But in the 1980s, it gained wider recognition, and it started to be used as a pretty commonly recognized tool, right? And so when we look at burnout today, it's a big buzzword. In 2019, in fact, the World Health Organization officially recognized burnout as an occupational phenomenon, not a medical condition, and it's defined as a result of typically chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. And so today, burnout is widely discussed across industries, demographics, especially high achieving professionals that are juggling really intense demands at work and at home. Now, here's the real problem, okay? You've got a lot on your plate, but more often than not, it's not just what you're doing, it's how you're carrying it. So let's unpack a few truths. First, you're not failing, you're just over functioning. It might feel like you're dropping the balls, things aren't working, but you've got too much on the go. You've just got too much in your life. There is a podcast episode I was listening to about creating order and creating cleanliness and organization in the home. And there was a metaphor used about a bucket of crayons. If you have a red bucket on your shelf and you have room for one red bucket of crayons, you can put one red bucket of crayons and the rest don't fit. They'll spill over. You can't just add more buckets to a shelf if there's no space for it. And so often we try to add the extra crayons and they're spilling all over the place, or we try to sneak in an extra bucket because we're such high achievers. And we feel like we fail. We feel like we suck, but we're not. We're just adding too much to our plate. And the fact is you only have 24 hours in a day. There are ways you can be more effective, but you can't add more time to the day. Second, you're not lazy. You're not lazy. You're probably doing 10 times more than most people around you. You are probably exhausted. You are wiped. And when you're in a state of exhaustion, you don't have the resources or the mental or physical capacity to function at your peak. So you will be more sluggish. You will be less effective. And things, you won't be able to see the solutions as easily and as powerfully as you normally would. And most importantly, you are not alone, because burnout is something that is absolutely prevalent in our world. And so often we think that we're the only one. We might be ashamed of how things are showing up in our lives, but the fact is, this is something that so many people are going through. And realize that if you're not the only one going through this, other people are going through the very same thing. And there's also people that are overcoming it. And so what's the real issue? What's the real issue? You keep saying yes to everything without pausing to check if it's even yours or your responsibility in the first place. So this is where we step back, and I'm going to give you 6 steps. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through 6 steps that you can use to regain control of your life in a grounded way when things are just like way too much. Okay, first, pause and take a breath. Even just do it right now. Breathe in and hold. And exhale. And hold. Doing that a few times can help you think more clearly, because you cannot think clearly in panic mode. And regulating your nervous system through something as simple as breathing, that can be done anywhere, any place for free, just breathe slow, is step number 1. So pause and take a breath. Second step, acknowledge what it is. Okay, so there is a speaker that Bob Proctor used to talk about. Doctor, oh my goodness, I can't remember off the top of my head. um, it'll come to me, but maybe not right now. But he used to say that when something bad happens, it is what it is, accept it. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong. You don't have to like it, but you've got to accept it without judgment. And just realize that things are the way they are at this particular point in time. They were different 5 minutes ago, and they can be different 5 minutes from now. But whatever situation you're in, it is what it is. Accept it. And you can decide to change it. You can decide something else afterwards. But in this moment, let it go and stop trying to control the circumstance. Then next thing, decide what actually matters. Okay, step 3, decide what matters. Is it actually urgent? Is it going to move the needle today? Not everything needs to be done today. Not everything needs to be done by you. And not everything needs to be done at all. Some things can just be eliminated from the list and from your chaos. So decide what actually matters and what's truly most important and urgent that day. Step 4, make a plan, but a kind one. So you've got to choose what's required of you. You're not going to be able to do everything, and you're not going to be able to do it all in one day. So let go of the rest, move it to another day, delegate it, reschedule it, and realize you're allowed to say no. But sit down and make a plan and do the math. Really put those steps into your calendar. Okay. When you have this, we had one of our clients recently. She had a 5-week deadline for a project that she'd put off for a couple of years. And she decided, she's like, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. I'm going to commit to this. This is a very ambitious goal. We time blocked things. We planned. We looked at what could go wrong in her world, and we anticipated challenges, and we looked for solutions in advance. And she got to work. She asked for help. She did what she needed. And you know what happened? She finished the project in less than half the time she had anticipated. But she made a plan, and the next thing she did was ask for help. Okay, to step 5, you got to ask for help. You cannot do it all. Maybe it's a partner, a team member, your kids, your spouse. You do not have to carry it all. Delegate, automate, or delete. These are 3 words that you want to increase and add to your vocabulary. And then last up is execute only on what's absolutely essential. Then let it be enough. Okay, do the thing that you need to do, and don't worry about doing anything else, because you've got to give yourself the right space. Your worth is not measured by how much you get done, but by how you feel while you're doing it. If you feel like you're moving the needle, if you're doing something truly important, you're going to feel alive, and you're going to feel better, and you're going to let that chaos go and replenish yourself along the way. Now, I know you might be thinking, if I don't do it all, it's not going to get done. Or maybe you'll feel guilty asking for help. But here's the truth. Control and guilt are coping mechanisms. They are not leadership skills. And you're not going to get extra credit for running yourself into the ground. The fact is, the most successful people I work with, they've learned how to pause, prioritize, protect their peace as fiercely as they protect their calendars. So this choice is up to you. Okay. When things happen, when you get to that point of being maxed, pause and take a breath, because you really can't do anything anyway. Acknowledge what it is. Decide what actually matters. Make a realistic, kind plan for yourself. Ask for help. And then only do what's absolutely essential. You don't need to do it all, but you do need to do what matters, and do it in a way that feels aligned, sustainable, and true to you. So if you're feeling stretched or on the edge of burnout, this is your moment to reset. You want to hit that reset button, and hit that reset button each and every day. And if you are not used to hitting the reset button, one of the things that we do with our client base, and I've been doing this for about 4 years, is I realized my clients, I used to tell them to hit the reset button each and every single day. I'm like, do a morning routine, do something that soothes your soul, that gets your mind and your body set for the day. A couple people did it, they got results. The rest, they felt guilty because they didn't do it. But when I invited them to join me for my morning routine, all they had to do was click join, and I shared my system and my systematic approach with them. And then all of a sudden, they were able to be successful. So, one of the things that we do in our community is I'm offering to share part of my morning system with you. And we're actually holding a masterclass, a series of masterclasses. So, it's one masterclass, but we hold it at different times to make it really, really convenient for you. It's all about how you can rewire your morning to reinvent and reorganize your mind. And if that's something that you're in need of, even if you don't do it in the morning, you could do it at a different time of day. But I'm going to give you a really brilliant framework for a mindset routine to keep you moving forward no matter what. Now, you're probably thinking, I've got so much on my plate. How do I fit this in? I promise you, this hour and a half and what I'm going to teach you will help you actually save so much more time, create more freedom, create more ease, and create more peace in your life so you don't ever have to reach the point of burnout again. But the first step is just showing up. So if this is something you're interested in, if you want to join us for the masterclass, for the Rewire Your Morning, Reinvent Your Life masterclass, then write morning in the chat and my team or I will help you get set up. It is absolutely free and it is my gift to you. I will give you the exact steps you need to follow so you can truly live a rich and fulfilling life. So you can not just survive the chaos, but avoid the chaos and anticipate it coming so you don't need to reach to the point of burnout in order to free yourself from it, right? If you never get there, you're going to constantly and consistently navigate in a really smart and intelligent way. So I hope that helps. I hope that's valuable to you. I hope this has resonated with you in terms of realizing that you might be in a place that's very, very difficult, but don't use that as an excuse to stay stuck. No matter what's happening, you can always get your way out, but it's got to start with something as simple as taking a breath and making a decision to have it be different. And if you want to join us for the free masterclass, then mention morning in the chat and my team and I will help set you up with a registration link. So bye for now.